And what I was saying, don't care who you are when you come back to this life, back to this physical life, not Shemaim, the heavenly court. When you are right here, you get to breathe a little bit. You're like, wow, what an experience. You are traumatized from the experience that you've been through, and you say to yourself, okay, now not that I ever had a doubt of Shemaim, even in my bad days. I knew there was always an afterlife, and I could actually prove that. I had tattoos on my body that I'm on my 32 sessions at Homeboy Industries to remove all my tattoos from the past. And when I was around, I don't know how old, I have a lot of forgetfulness, but very young. And my teenage years, I think it was, I got tattoos. I went to a place and I got a certain tattoo that read across from my arm, from my right arm to across my chest, reading from my arm, afterlife, living, and hell. That was what I put on my body. But Hashem had a good sense of humor that day. Instead of the woman that never made a mistake in 20-something years, instead of her putting afterlife, living in hell, she put afterlife, leaving, like leaving away. Leaving, instead of putting living. So it goes to show you, from this you get a message that even back then, Hashem took mercy on me. With all my hardships and everything, I looked up. It was unbelievable. I looked up, and she was saying, please, I didn't mean anything by it. Please don't go. She thought she was gonna get sued, whatever. I just started laughing. I'm like, you think it was you? She goes to me, well, I'm the one that did it. I'm like, no, it was God that did it to me. So I started laughing, and I'm like, good one, Hashem. And now I'm removing it. But during that time when I had that on, and people say, oh, ink doesn't mean anything, tattoos don't mean anything on the body, I beg to differ. Since I had those on, I had nothing but nothing, punishments left and right. It was not even normal punishments. And during that time, my family separated. I was trying to cut myself every single day, what was left of my family. I didn't see my dad for 30 years. 2 years ago he passed away, so that marks it 32 years. And my mom I found after like 20 plus something years, don't remember how many, but definitely over 20 years. It's sorry. Trying to not get emotional. Look, a message that I could tell you about intermarriage. All other religions in the world, and I'm not saying this because I'm Jewish, you could do your research. Judaism is a way of life. It's the first, I don't want to say religion, it's the first, we are the first ones that came into, when the world was created. It was created for many different reasons, but we were the first reason that it started. And I'm not saying this because we are special, so on, we are a chosen nation, and so on. I'm going to make a deeper statement than that, so you guys could understand where I'm coming from. Judaism is based on crime and punishment, yes. Reincarnation, 110%. The other thing people don't talk about is that we are supposed to shed light on other nation, onto the world, and be leaders, not followers. The thing about it is, people in the intermarriage, eventually you will bump heads, and your significant other is going to come and tell you, hey, do you believe in so-and-so? No, I believe in God. Judaism, we only believe in God. Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, the biggest prophet that ever lived, we are not allowed to pray to him. Biggest prophet that ever lived, we are not allowed to pray to him. So what makes you think that praying to JC is what's going to save you? God is the only one. Hashem is the only one that will save you from any situation. And I've been faced with many situations. Over 200 times I cheated death in LA alone, not counting the Iran and Iraq war, being bombed every single day, nonstop, going under bomb shelters as a kid. It's so much that I could talk about. But he was the only one that would save you from any situation. You want to go and you pray to JC, what you guys call Son of God. I mean, think about that for a second. You guys claim that he's going to come back as the Messiah. I got news for you. Messiah, if you want to talk about Messiah and so forth, you cannot be a Messiah if you have been basically not in this world anymore, that you pass away. That's the number one thing about the Moshiach. The Moshiach, when he comes and that's it. And that's going to be the end of the world. It's going to... I don't have a lot of knowledge in this one, but as much as I know, the Tzaddikim, the righteous, will reawaken and they will come back to earth, to this world. And Rashaim, the wicked, well, you basically know where they're going. I'm not saying that I'm Sadiq whatsoever, not even close, not even 1%. But a lot of stuff is very clear to me, where other people shy away from it and they say, there is no hell, there is no heaven, you live right here, worry about right here, don't worry what's up there. No, I worry what's up there, not what right here is. And that's my message to people that intermarry, because we have two different mindsets, two different understandings of what God is. And our holidays are completely different than Xmas and other stuff. And other thing is that, where do you think you guys got it from? Got it from us. So I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash about this, and you could comment bad about it. You could say I'm this, I'm that, this. I'm used to all types of criticism, all types of people challenge me to a fight, this, that. At the end of the day, I could tell you this. Doesn't bother me none. Just like a lion in the jungle that knows is the king of the jungle and he has nothing to prove. That's my motto. As long as nothing is touched on me, I'm not going to comment on it and so on and challenge anybody to any type of fight and so on and so on. I have nothing to prove to anybody. I know what I've been through. I know the toughest streets that I was raised in. I know drive-by shootings that I've experienced personally. I've known so many different things that I was faced with that only God and EMUNAH got me out of these situations. So anybody tells me otherwise, you're this, you're that, you make believe, this, that, doesn't fade me. It doesn't. I know the truth. I know what I've been through. Anybody that had a near-death experience, they will tell you what they've been through, whether it be Jewish, not Jewish. The stories are always the same. I never want to go back to this place. This place was horrifying. It was out of this world. It wasn't natural. The supernatural thing that I went through, a lot of people will say, people that were gone for a few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, everybody has the same story, more or less. They will say, I was there for a time that it was thousands of years, millions of years, because over there time don't exist. Some people need a wake-up call. My wake-up call was the life after death experience. And because of that, when I started keeping Shabbat, it was a very, very, very hard thing to try to explain to your significant other, I'm going to keep Shabbat. I'll see you after Shabbat. And I used to live 5 miles away from the closest Sephardi Shul. So I would walk from Washington and Crenshaw to all the way to Pico and Robertson to keep the Shabbat Holy. 1.5 hours approximately or so. So imagine that. You come back after Shabbat. How you think the atmosphere, the environment of the house is going to be? It is said that Hashem, God, for the sake of Shalom Bayit, He is willing to erase His name. That should tell you something. For Shalom Bayit, for peace inside the home, and to go along with your significant other, the Shalom Bayit, for the peace and everything, God is willing to erase His name. How you think you're going to have peace in an intermarriage when it's completely two different things? Christian, Catholic is completely different than Judaism. Judaism, we have 613 commandments. Christians and Catholics, you guys have 10 and 13 commandments. 7 Noahide laws is the ones that you guys are supposed to abide by, not by JC. The Sabbath is on none other. Sundown Friday until Saturday sundown. All of a sudden you guys come up with Sabbath on Sunday? Think about that. So the people that are also intermarrying, they're doing for the thrill of it, for the time that they just start being with each other and is lovey-dovey, whatever you want to call it. And they're like, oh, I could never have kids, you know. You're talking nonsense. Kids? What kids? Impossible. Not gonna happen to me. And then it happens. Are you gonna man up, or are you gonna walk away from your responsibility? Anybody in this world could bring a kid into this world. Anybody. Okay? It takes a man to raise one. It also takes a man to sit down with his kids and to learn Hebrew and so on and Aleph Bet and all of